verdict has opened up the possibility of a drastic political realignment in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. A host of scenarios have emerged in the state. Scenario 1, the BJP says yes to PDP feelers, which may be likely. Scenario 2, the PDP says yes to the Congress's support, offers, seeks others' help. This is also a likely scenario. Scenario 3, the BJP and the National Conference come together with others, but this is unlikely at this point in time. But the dispensation will need at least 4 MLAs, even for that simple majority. Scenario 4, the PDP and the National Conference bury the hatchet. They see sense in doing that at this stage and align, but this again is highly unlikely in the current scenario. And joining the discussion now is Dr. Samir Kaul of the PDP. Dr. Kaul, thanks for joining us here on Headlines today. Your party, leader Mehbooba Mufti saying no hurry in, making a decision. Everything is going to be gone through. The party is going to go through everything in great detail right now. All options are currently open. Any clarity, any light that you can throw for us on where and what the PDP is thinking right now?
Well, I think her statement has been amply clear in the sense that we really have to consider a lot of things before we arrive at a decision. And for instance, we've got to look at the way people have voted. What does the Kashmir Valley want? What do the people from Jammu want? What does Ladakh want? Because we have to carry all communities and all religions and all regions together.
How are you going to figure that out, Dr. Kaul? How are you going to figure out which way to go?
Like I said, it's not an easy proposition, but it will be discussed. Various aspects of it, advantages and disadvantages of every option will be discussed in the Political Affairs Committee when it meets in a couple of days' time and take stock of the situation and therefore come to the right answer. But obviously this is going to take time and can't happen pronto.
Because we've been hearing so many different things. We've heard, specific statements, some, oblique, tangential comments from the PDP. Today, Mehbooba Mufti said virtually nothing as far as, each of those specific options are concerned. She refused to take any specific questions about, what the PDP would like to see happen. But if I could ask you to throw some light on what the PDP's position is as far as the BJP is concerned. Is the PDP, given all the processes that you just described, willing in any measure to ally with the BJP?
Like I said, at the present moment, we are open to all kinds of permutations and combinations, but only after discussing its pros and cons in the right quarters. I told you there is a Political Affairs Committee meeting which is headed by Mufti Muhammad Sayyid and Mehbooba ji, which is going to get convened in the next couple of days. Obviously, that is what is going to be discussed, since it's not an easy decision at all. Like I told you, there are various compulsions, various things to be considered, and sometimes these things work at cross purposes to each other. So we'll have to consider everything before we come to any sort of a conclusion. The process has not yet started. It will happen soon, and you will know. We will let you know.
Because the other thing is, Ghulam Nabi Azad has made it pretty explicit. An open extension of support to the PDP is already forthcoming from the Congress to your party, which is known to hold all the cards at this time, Dr. Kaul.
Well, in the sense that being the larger party, it comes with the responsibility of looking after all the compulsions that go with the pluralistic state like Jammu and Kashmir, which has been traditionally and historically very pluralistic, and different regions thinking differently and perhaps acting differently and perhaps even voting differently, like you just saw. So it comes with a larger responsibility, and therefore, yes, the primary prerogative would lie with the PDP, but would examine all kinds of options before it comes to a conclusion. And it will, let me assure you, will try its best to come up to the expectations of the voters who have reposed their faith and confidence.
Gohar Gilani, if I could bring you in at this point of time, what is the PDP talking about? What are they going to try and figure out over the next 36 to 48 hours before they take a final decision?
I think all this while, Mr. Umar Abdullah...
I mean, we've just seen an election happen. I mean, what more do they need to gauge?
I think Mr. Omar Abdullah has been saying all along that PDP is a shadow party of the BJP, and they have had a secret deal
Yes.
before the elections. So on the domestic turf, I think if the PDP will go with the BJP, that will be a political suicide for the PDP in the next elections in 2020, because they have been voted by the people of Kashmir to stop the BJP's rise into the Kashmir Valley and BJP's entry into the Kashmir Valley. And I think PDP will have to do a lot of rethinking and a lot of, deliberations on whether to support the BJP or go with the Congress, as used to be the case earlier.
Okay, Seshadri, would you like to respond to that? Meenakshi Lekhi has also spoken out just a moment ago, saying that if there are reservations like this that are coming out from the PDP, then the BJP is happy to sit in the opposition. What is the BJP's position on this?
No, we cannot jump to conclusions from that. But very strangely, although we spoke about Mission 44,
Yes.
if you look at all the combinations, it's very strange that people of Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir have thrown out Mission 40. BJP, NC put together gives 40. PDP, Congress, 28 plus 12 is 40. Strangely, even BJP, Congress and others is also 40. So obviously that combination doesn't seem to be working.
This is poetry numbers.
Poetry numbers, yes.
However close Manishankar Iyer and Chari may be in the studio, in Jammu and Kashmir, Congress and BJP are very far away. And therefore the only combination that work, the only two combinations that work is NC and BJP.
Yeah.
But the biggest problem is NC's leader and Chief Minister has lost from both the constituencies. So that amounts to absolute total rejection.
He's won in one of his constituencies.
Oh, he's won.
He's won. Yes.
So that's the good news. But in any case,
So you're saying the NC and the BJP is a possibility?
I'm saying, see, if you go by the vote electorate, they have rejected NC.
Yes.
So a party which has been rejected to be brought back into power through the back door doesn't go well with.
And that's
the
not something that
history.
the BJP would like to do either.
I'm sure that should not be what we should be liking.
Okay.
So in the prevailing situation, we have to wait for PDP. But what is more important is, I think all the political parties are responsible enough to assure the PDP,
Yes.
if in any case they are trying to form a government, because they are the single largest party and they have the right to form a government,
Right.
which will be a minority government.
Okay.
So in that case, I think an assurance that the minority government will be tolerated and on issue-based support
Yes.
from various political formulations is the only solution that is.
Are there any other options, Anuradha Bhasin?
No, I think the better option would be, because the problem is the fractured verdict here.
Yes.
And I won't like to go with Mr. Sheshadri's optimism. He's counting everybody else into the BJP fold as if it's another kind of an engineering project of Ghar Wapsi. But the problem is, you have 25 BJP in the majority in Jammu, and you have PDP taking 28 seats in the valley. So there's a total divide here. Now what happens if there is a minority government? Where is the Jammu representation or the Ladakh representation? And in that respect, I would like to go with Manishankar Iyer, and that Congress would
Is
be
the
a
only
more
party that has
suitable
representations
option,
from all three areas.
despite the fact that Congress in a coalition has always been a problem in
Right.
J&K. It's created problems, but the last, I think the 3 years they did allow Mufti to perform in between 2002 and 2006,
Right.
2005, sorry.
And
But-
one more
yeah,
point,
quick-
sorry.
quick point, yeah.
I think, another danger between if the PDP goes with the BJP is
Yes.
because PDP has been selling dreams to the Kashmiris about self-rule, about common currency, and BJP is talking about repealing Article 370.
Right.
And this is going to be a disaster. As I see, because BJP is all about national politics.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
happens in New Delhi, and they see things in Kashmir Valley
Yeah.
from the New Delhi prism. And BJP is more regional, and they have been talking about all these possible solutions, Musharraf's 4-point formula, self-rule, and they have been going to before the people with that soft separatism tone.
Right,
So
right.
that I don't see how will they go together.
Okay.
With that.
quick point, then I want to come to a separate issue. Yeah, Manisha Prem.
I mean, I don't know which party in J&K has not had this hard separatist or soft separatist tone. I find one of them doing business with, all of them have offices and alliances with the BJP. Nothing is something that they do not do. So there is just one question. I can see a definite mandate. The meaning of the mandate is that there is one party that has been voted in Kashmir. There is one more party. So the people of Jammu and Kashmir have reposed their faith very clearly in two parties which have very large numbers. So what is the problem in the first past the post system? What is the problem in considering these two parties to be the repository of what is called the mandate of the people? And therefore see that technically if some solution comes out, it would be around these parties.
We'll have to see.
Rather than say that the anti-incumbency vote of the NCP is actually spread between these regions. I mean, these are various meaningful debates that we have about democracy.
Absolutely.
But the system that we have is a first past the post system. The technical rules of the game simply, without going into the merits of the case of each region.
Well, is that one of the options going
the
forward?
question of stability.
Yeah, well, stability.
It can be anything. No, just a moment. Are any one of us asking that in West Singhbhum, for example, the BJP is not won a single seat in the current elections in Jharkhand? So the people of West Singhbhum will not.
Okay.
So why is it that you're telling me that this region also needs representation?
I want to talk for a moment. We can talk about the possibilities, the combinations, the options that stand before all the parties in Jammu and Kashmir right now. The truth is, of course, that we will only have clarity over the next 36 to 48 hours when the parties actually begin talking and the numbers actually fall together. I want to talk for a moment now, about the Modi wave. Dr. Chandan Mitra, star campaigner in Narendra Modi, a high-profile campaign, Mission 44 plus. The BJP threw a lot at this particular campaign. They said it was going to be historic. Several things were said about it. In that sense, even though the BJP's performance in Jammu and Kashmir has been historic, it isn't anywhere close to what Prime Minister Modi or the BJP wanted it to be and had specifically stated they were aiming at.
Well, when our party president gave the target of Mission 44 plus, it was basically to pitch a target that was really going to enthuse the party cadre, our rank and file and our supporters. That to make it sound feasible that even the BJP can form a government in Jammu and Kashmir, which was unthinkable so far. BJP never even tried to in the previous elections. And our last performance was 11 seats from Jammu. And therefore, I think in the assembly, because of the appeal of Mr. Narendra Modi, his enthusiasm, his charisma, his 6 months of good governance, and the fact that Mr. Amit Shah crafted this campaign very, very closely.
But would you concede that the quote-unquote Modi wave hasn't really had any effect in the Kashmir Valley in that case?
Look, in the Kashmir Valley it was difficult from the word go.
Yeah.
We have never had an existence. In the past, you could not find candidates. BJP could never find candidates to contest on its ticket. This time we had candidates. This time we had several who did very well. And we had some faces on whom the TV and media focused a great deal. They may not have won, but the breakthrough is made. I think the historic kind of entry of the BJP into the valley has happened, even if they have not won a seat. You wait for 1 or 2 more elections, and I think a government, a single party government by the BJP in Jammu and Kashmir is an inevitability.
Okay, a quick word from Priyanka Chaturvedi before I wrap up this segment. Priyanka, the tables have sort of turned as far as the sobriquet of untouchable is concerned. The Congress had so frequently and all along called the BJP untouchable in Jammu and Kashmir. It's now the BJP saying the Congress is tainted, isolated and untouchable. Nobody wants to ally with them in J&K.
No, BJP can say whatever, and our esteemed panelist on your panel right now, Dr. Priyam, can say what she feels like, but that is absolutely not true. As far as, even if you would realize, if you were covering, we were covering Jharkhand, even Jharkhand Mukti Morcha wanted to get into an alliance with us, and there are many more parties which are already in alliance with us. So I wouldn't want to even get there about the untouchability, etc. But all I'd like to mention or add on to what Dr. Chandan Mitra was saying, as far as charisma of Dr. Modi, Narendra Modi is concerned, considering the kind of effort he put in Kashmir and his visit to Kashmir also,
yes,
what we've seen, the way the charisma or the money that was pumped in, the 11 to 26, 25 seats that they have only come from Jammu. So when they talk about a historic mandate, etc., it has come from Jammu, but they still have a long way to go as far as winning the confidence of the rest of Kashmir is concerned.
All right, you want to add to that? Yeah.
I think, while it's a fact that the BJP has made inroads in Jammu and, won 25 seats, and in previous elections they had won, I think, 11 seats. So it's a plus 14 plus.
Okay.
But all the talk about this Mission 44 plus and BJP's campaign, all the money that was pumped in, it has,
it was definitely a high-profile
There was no wave, no Modi wave, no BJP wave in the Kashmir Valley, and also in not in the mountainous Ladakh.
As one of our panelists put it earlier today, the chariot has ground to a halt at the Kashmir Valley. Okay, we're going to talk about that in a little more detail, and also things still tantalizingly unclear in Jammu and Kashmir, but the BJP is set to form the government in Jharkhand. That's for certain. And as preparations are on to name the chief ministerial candidate, the front runners are as follows. Senior BJP veteran Raghuvan Das, another known face in Jharkhand politics, Raghubir Das and Sudarshan Bhagat are the people who could be the next chief minister of Jharkhand. Well, the India Today Cicero poll on Jharkhand got it bang on. We're going to tell you more about what we told you in Jharkhand and what the numbers stack up as. Dhananjay Joshi of Cicero is with us, and he will be live with us, and Gaurav Sawant, our panel of guests and political party spokespersons, in just a minute right here on Headlines Today as this segment.